Hello everyone, this is Simon Stevens from Inception Designs. Welcome to our first quick tech video. And before we get started on actually showing you how to work on different paintball guns, different products in paintball, what I thought was really important was actually to take some time and to show you the basic tools and equipment, thread lockers, lubricants, and things that you'll need to work on paintball guns. These are just a small section of tools. These are what I believe are the necessities that you should have. And I'm going to show you the different products I have, why I use them, and what I recommend you have them in your toolkit for working on paintball. We can, if you want, later do a bigger video on all of the tools that I use in paintball, but this is really the fundamental start. Now, most importantly, first off is a good quality set of Allen keys. I have seen so many paintball guns ruined in paintball because of cheap Allen keys or people using Allen keys incorrectly. My favorite manufacturer of Allen keys is Bondus. These are made in the USA. They have a lifetime warranty. This set of Allen keys I've had for over 10 years and they still perform absolutely fantastically. I broke one, which was totally and utterly my fault. I was putting way too much force with the 1/8 Allen key on a red Loctited bolt, snapped the ball off of the end of it because I was going a little crazy. I sent it out to Bondus. They had a replacement to me in just over a week. So they have a lifetime warranty. They're absolutely fantastic Allen keys. You can get them in imperial fractional sizes, and you can get them in metric. The other thing to say about Allen keys is in paintball, when you're using an Allen key, use the long side only ever to undo screws and bolts, and use the short side to tighten. There is never a situation in paintball where you will need more force than you can put on that short side of the Allen key in order to tighten a screw. I've seen many paintball guns destroyed because someone used the long side and they actually stripped the aluminum threads out of the paintball gun, or they stripped the head of the screw and then it was very hard to get the screw out, so you end up cutting it with and slotting it with a Dremel or scratching all your gun. So the most important thing when you're using an Allen key in paintball, loosen with the long side, tighten with the short side. You will never need more force than you can put on the short side of an Allen key. And you'll notice that as the Allen keys get smaller, the actual short side gets shorter as well, which means you can put less force on them. That automatically stops you or tries to stop you from actually stripping out the screws. So the number one most important thing in your tool set is a quality set of Allen keys, not Chinese junk rip-off crap Allen keys. Please buy a quality set of Allen keys. Totally recommend Bondus Allen keys. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I probably should be. Bondus Allen keys are worth every penny. Next, we're going to take a look at Loctite products and thread sealers. You don't ever need to use a red Loctite in paintball. Typically, the one that's most commonly used is a blue Loctite. Now, a lot of people use blue Loctite for everything. They use it as a thread sealer, they use it to stop parts vibrating out of place, and they use it to lock screws into place. The reality is, if you do not use blue Loctite correctly, it will not work. These Loctites actually work because of an absence of air. So if you put them onto a pneumatic fitting, it's not there to seal the pneumatic fitting and stop air from bypassing the threads. It's really just stop there from unscrewing, to stop the fitting from unscrewing. So that's the wrong use of a blue Loctite. If you're threading something together and the threads are just going together and they're not going tight, if the threads don't go tight, it doesn't lock the two sets of threads together. So there's still air able to get inside there. The Loctite will never set. It won't hold the piece in place. When you use a Loctite, the only time you're going to use this is when you're actually tightening a screw down to the point that the screw locks down and goes tight. So if you're locking down something like a frame screw that you never want to move, or an ASA screw to stop your ASA from ever coming loose, then you would use blue Loctite, you would tighten it down so it's tight and you'd all be good. If you're putting a a pump arm into the back block of an autococker and you're not bottoming it out so it goes tight, this is the wrong product. It will never stay tight. If you're putting a ram shaft into a pump arm on an autococker and you're just screwing the two pieces together, but you're not bottoming them out on a shoulder, it's a little easy to say. If you're not bottoming them out on a shoulder, like we designed the Inception ram and the Inception pump arm to do, then blue Loctite is again the wrong product because it's not tight on the threads And if the threads aren't tight and pulling against each other, it will never harden, it won't work. So make sure you use blue Loctite in the right occasions. I'm a big fan of this product. It's Vibratight, and it's their 125. It actually comes in a little pump. So you push the top, and it's very easy to dispense just the right amount for how you're using it. You don't end up getting a huge amount of the Loctite product out. This is actually a rival to Loctite. Vibratight is a different brand. This is a fantastic product. I'm a big fan of that. That's what we use for tightening, or for locking screws into place that are being tightened. The next product is Loctite 545. And Loctite 545 is a thread sealant. I'll put it up to the camera. Hopefully you can see that. Now this is actually designed for the hydraulics industry. This is a phenomenal product. Anytime you want to do a screw or a pneumatic fitting and you want it to seal so that it's not going to leak air, this is the product to use, not a blue Loctite. The only downside to this product is that you're supposed to put it on, tighten the fitting, and then leave it for 24 hours before you apply gas pressure. Recommend this wholeheartedly. It's the right product for the job. Everybody in paintball should own a small bottle of Loctite 545. You'll notice I don't have Teflon tape on the table. I'm not a big fan of Teflon tape. In a pinch, Teflon tape does work. It can be used to seal parts, but there's too many times where it's used incorrectly. It goes inside the pneumatic systems, it gets carried along and blocks ports, or it blocks solenoids. So you'll see I tend to really never use it. If I'm at a pinch at an event and somebody needs something sealing and we don't have this and the only thing they have is Teflon tape, you can use it, but I much prefer Loctite 545. And this product, Vibratight VC3, this is a fantastic product, and it's not as commonly used in paintball as it should be. What this does is it allows you to screw in components. They don't have to be tight like they do with the blue Loctite, but they will stay in place. And you can adjust them, you can remove them, you can put them back in, and it still works. So for instance, if you're attaching a pump arm into a back block of an autococker and it's not threading all the way down and bottoming out, then you would use VC3 on that thread. If you're putting it on the timing rod of a autococker and the old style couplers that didn't have the nylon screws like we have on the Inception ones to keep the threads in place, this would be the right product to use. If you're connecting an old school ram to a pump arm on an autococker, this would be the right product to use, because you can screw it into the right adjustment level point that you want, and then it'll stay there. It won't move. This is actually used a lot in the firearms industry as well, because it is such a great product. I also recommend this if you have a bolt with a spring detent in and there's an Allen key and you're winding the Allen key in from the back of the bolt. Often those come loose and you end up losing the ball and the spring. This is the product you should put on that set screw to stop them from coming loose. So anytime you're not bottoming out a screw, but you want a screw to stay in place, VC3 from Vibratight is the product to be using. Next, we're going to talk about lubricants. When it comes to oil in paintball guns, I am a huge fan of Outlast. This used to be called KC Trouble Free, I believe. And it's just the best oil I've ever found in the use of paintball. This one is a slightly lighter version. This is the one that you would typically use. You use it on O-rings, O-ring seals, O-ring bolts, components like the hammer in an autococker or a pump gun where it's going to be sliding back and forth. They also do a slightly thicker version. I don't use this quite so much as I use this one. If you're looking for something that's a little closer towards putting grease on a component, but it's still doing a lot of sliding and a lot of motion, a lot of movement, then this is a good product. But if you're only going to get one, get the 100% synthetic Ultra Lube premium gun oil from Outlast. Used to be called KC Trouble Free. Absolutely fantastic product. Next, we're going to talk about greases. There's a bunch of paintball specific greases on the marketplace. Most of them are just variants of these two, or they've taken these two and they've added some different colors or different chemicals or some oils to them and mixed them up. I just like using the original. From Dow Corning, these are typically called Dow 33 and Dow 55. The proper name is Molykote. You can buy these online. Dowel 33 is what I would use on any spool valve type O-rings, anything that's an O-ring that's going to be sliding and you're trying to keep friction down to a minimum. Dowel 33 is the go-to. Dowel 55 actually is used if you're looking to have a slightly tighter fit on some O-rings. So if your O-rings are a little bit loose and you're getting a leak past the seal because of that, then you can replace Dowel 33 with Dowel 55. I also like to use Dowel 55 on stationary sealing O-rings that aren't ever going to be moving. So if it's the O-rings on the outside of a valve body going into a sniper or an autococker, Dowel 55 is a great choice for that. If it's an O-ring where you're screwing two parts together and you just need to make sure that the O-ring seal is going to always work and you're not going to have any leaks and there's no moving parts, then Dowel 55 is a good choice. If you're only going to get one, get Dowel 33. If you're going to have a full toolbox and be prepared for everything, then get Dowel 55. And the other very simple thing that I recommend everybody have in their toolkit is a little spray bottle with water in. I actually like to mix 50% water with 50% rubbing alcohol because then it works to clean things as well and it helps evaporate off as soon as you've used it. But this is extremely useful not just for cleaning but for finding leaks. So you can spray this onto your gun, see where the leak's coming from, and the majority of fixing a problem is actually working out what the problem is. So a small spray bottle with water is really a fantastic piece to have in your equipment list. Now, all of that is all pretty straightforward. I'll actually try to provide some links where you can go buy it all. This is the minimum you need. Let me know if you're looking. I can actually do a bigger video on all of the tools that I have. I have quite a specific tool set that uses just for paintball. Some parts are specific for working on autocockers, some parts are specific for working on spool valve guns, and I can get into that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. Let me know in the comments if you have a specific tool that you really like, that you use, that we think everybody should know about. Let me know if you've had any issues getting on with other products or other lubrications in the industry. Let me know how you feel about that stuff. If you want to see more from our tech videos, you want to get more information, then please click the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Appreciate you watching.